Hi, welcome to this week's podcast. I hope you've had a fantastic week this week, and I wish you many happy blessings on a very beautiful week ahead as well. This week in my podcast, I'm sharing a lot of information about daisies. Now, there's lots of different flowers that we give the common name of daisy to, so I'll be going through a lot of that for you as well. There's a meditation that's about 30 minutes long, and then you might like to do it this evening and then come back to the chat later, or you can do it later on. You can always download it for future use as well. I'm showing and sharing a tutorial that I touched on this week on my Facebook page, and it will assist you in connecting a little bit deeper with the energy of flowers. There's many different ways to do this, and this is one of my favorites. And no, you don't need any art experience. However, you'll need some tracing paper and a pencil, and perhaps some colored pencils as well. That would be, or pens or anything that's color, that would be fantastic. That you can use afterwards. And also a piece of carbon paper is really helpful if you'd like to try that. You can usually get carbon paper from newsagents these days. Okay, I'll start with the wrap up for this week. This week I got a lot of questions and comments regarding asking me how I got my meaning for my flowers, and were they just from my intuition or based on the study that other people had done? And it's a great question. I have answered it a few times around the place, but I'll answer it again today. I don't really mind at all. I am a great believer that intuition guides us, and it guides us to where we need to put our focus. And once we've done that, we can then research, learn and study, and then our intuition will guide us to more. I believe this type of work that I do, and artwork as well, is about resolving the questions of our passions. So we're passionate about something. I'm passionate about flowers. I want to know more about them. I listen to what my intuition tells me, the areas to go and explore, and then I do that. And then my work is a layering of all of those resolutions. I'll use crystals for an example. If you were working with crystals, my suggestion would be to find out where those crystals are found. Where were they first found? Where are they now? What's the land like around there? What sort of animals are there? People, cultures, history, myths, the word itself, numerology, everything. There's so much more. And by doing all this, we find out about all the layers. And then we have a look at how it relates to our intuition. And then we come up with meanings. And meanings that are based on fact. Oh, and also science. I'm doing a lot of work with science at the moment. And not just horticultural things, but a lot of science. There's lovely correlations within there, really valid ones. So then the meanings of these things are based on fact. They're based on history. They're based on research, my research of other people as well, all of these layers. And then my intuition guides me as to what is relevant in the work that I'm creating. So hopefully that answers, because a couple of people did ask me they asked me how I came to get my meanings in order for them to get the meanings for the things that they were doing as well. So hopefully that might guide you as well into the direction that you're looking into, if this is part of your path as well. Now, this week, as I said, we've got the lovely meditation, and that's about 30 minutes, and you might want to listen to that meditation and then come back later for the chat. I've also got the little exercise to do, and you can do that this evening. I'll make sure there's plenty of time. But of course, there's flower readings as well. So if you've got a flower that you feel really drawn to at the moment, or if you've got a question that you'd like a bit of guidance on, go and have a look for a flower. It can be a photograph. It doesn't have to be a photograph of your flower. You can go and have a look on the internet. Just make sure you feel really drawn to that particular image. Please share with me whatever you know about the flower, the name of the flower, anything else that you'd like to add about it, and then the area that you'd like some guidance in as well, so I can sort of hone that in, because it's just short answers, so that would be fantastic. And I shall do the first, I'll say half a dozen people I'll give answers to when we have a little bit of a chat later on. If there's anything else that you'd like to know about Daisies and about the course content, or about anything else that's come up during the week on any of my things, feel free to bring those up in the chat as well. Anything you'd like to add and share. I love hearing about the things that you have to add to the things that I'm talking about. I'm not the walking encyclopedia. I'm not the start and the finish of any of this stuff by any stretch of the imagination, okay? Just one of the little cogs in the wheel. That's what it is. I'm sitting here actually in my office, and this is all my... Actually, it's not all. It's like a little corner of my bookcases. So, yeah, and I'm here not to show you all my research notes. I just thought I'm actually here because it's absolutely pouring with rain outside, and I can't film in the rain, obviously, or I'd wreck my video camera. So this is the sort of thing. I study books. I read books all the time. I love keeping my books for further research. And most of my books, I do have some books that are sort of modern interpretations and things, but most of them are really, they're old books. They're classics on the subject. There's a lot of herbal medicine books. I'm sort of looking at the modern herbal. There's lots and lots of some of Cunningham's work there, and lots of things by botanists as well, and books. And this is the one I wanted to show you, My British Wildflowers by Thomas Moore. Really old books. This book's 165 years old, and it's absolutely... I found it in a second-hand store. I've always wanted this book. And they're things like this. He doesn't talk about flower essences or anything like that. He's actually talking about where the flowers are that he found. And the beautiful... I always feel like this should be under glass somewhere. And here I use it for my research. And the beautiful plates that are in it. And anyway, he talks about where the flowers are, where he found them. Really tiny little information and snippets of things that they're the things that I use in my research as well. So it's not me just sitting there going, oh, Daisy's fantastic. They are, but it's all the other bits and pieces. So I'm really hoping that sort of gets you guys thinking when you're doing this sort of work, to use your intuition to guide you and focus you. It's just such a big theme this week. Okay, I'm going to let you get on and have a look at all the other things in the podcast. Have a fantastic night. Thank you so much for joining me as well. I really, really appreciate it. I love the interaction in the chatty forum afterwards. So I'll see you there. Happy blessings.